What's going on, guys? Matt here from Project Unbroken, and today I want to answer a question that I just got this morning in response to my video yesterday about how to reduce withdrawal symptoms through the tapering process. This question is from Pete. Basically, do you think it is possible to successfully taper from 8 milligrams to nothing in 2 months with no withdrawals? Thank you, Pete. Thank you for the question, Pete. I replied to Pete basically by saying, I think it's possible, but you need to put in some serious work. So this is gonna be like the accelerated course. 2 months is an okay amount of time. I don't know how long Pete has been on Suboxone, but I'm assuming just because of the wording of his question, there's something that's causing him to have to be off in 2 months. I don't know what that is. I don't know how long he's been on it, but let's just assume that whatever the case, he needs to be off in 2 months. How would I approach this? The first thing that I would make sure that I had lined up is your support system. I would find somebody that you trust their opinion, somebody that's reliable, somebody that's accountable. For me, it would be somebody who has not ever had any experience with heroin, Suboxone, opiates, addiction, anything like that. And that may sound counterintuitive, but I want to find somebody that is not trying to give me advice necessarily, but they're strictly there for accountability. I want somebody there who knows me well, who has my best interest in mind, and they're strictly, I'm telling them like, hey, here's what I'm trying to accomplish. Here is the parameters that I can accomplish this in. Here's the red flags that I want you to look out for to know that I'm kind of falling off the wagon. And I need your help, I need your support, I need some accountability here. That's number one. For me, that was very helpful. I would reach out to, maybe if there's a family member or a close friend that you can trust. All you need them for is accountability. All right, and this is going to keep you accountable because I told so-and-so that I'm trying to do this and they're gonna keep an eye on me. It's more for you to understand that that's in place so you can't fall off on your own. So support system, person, people, group, whatever it is, let them know, hey, I need your help through this and this is why. The second thing that I would do is immediately set myself up in some sort of difficult group activity that is going to require some hard work and dedication on your part or my part, I forget who we're talking about now, to get better. So if this was me, again, knowing what I know now, I would immediately sign up at for me, a CrossFit gym, because I love it. It's hard, it makes me focus, it takes my mind off of things, I improve, I feel good, it's awesome. But you could do this more than likely at a yoga studio, an Orange Theory. Maybe get a personal trainer. I like the group class idea because there's other people there. It's putting you in a good social situation where there's other people doing positive things with their lives that will rub off on you. You are the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with the most. A lot of these types of gyms and facilities have a lot of really great people that are doing good things with their lives. I think it's a great social situation to put yourself in if you're dealing with this sort of predicament. From that, piggybacking off my video yesterday, you're maximizing the natural production of dopamine and endorphins through just the straight up going to class and exercising. Oxytocin, forming new relationships. Oxytocin is going to boost up serotonin. Hopefully you are feeling that sense of accomplishment. You should be able to hit almost all 4 of the things that I talked about in my video yesterday, which I will link a post to, or you can click here, click that button to see my video, and I'll go a little bit more into depth about my tips for Suboxone there. I did this yesterday. But you're covering a lot of ground just with 3 to 5 hours a week of going and doing something difficult. And that class is going to help you accomplish all those things. So that's the next thing I would do. So we have our we have our support group or support person, that's in place. We are getting our exercise in or a group activity that is very difficult, that's going to maximize the production of all those things that I just mentioned. The third and probably most, I don't want to say most important, but very important thing is some sort of mental wellness activity. And this, you don't need any people to help you with. You can, but you can find all this stuff on the internet, and that's where I find it. Just that mental well-being practice. So this could be meditation, this could be guided hypnosis for success or addiction or recovery. This could be breath work where you're just kind of trying to bring yourself to the present moment, understand how you're feeling, and sit with those feelings. I think this is really important because as you go through this process, you are going to have to develop a very acute and keen sense or awareness of where you are at all times, emotionally, mentally. Like, where are you? Are you stressed? Can you get it together? Like, can you come back down to a baseline and think clearly before you make any rash decisions? You are going to come up against stressful moments, situations where you're going to bug out. The first thing you're going to think of is like, I need my Suboxone or whatever chemical is you think is going to make you feel better. What this mental practice will do is it's going to give you a buffer between the stressful stimulus and your reaction to that stimulus. So, say you get stressed out, you run into, you get fired from your job and your girlfriend leaves you and you're like, fuck my life. Like, it's so stressful, you're gonna want to fix it immediately. What this mental well-being practice will allow you is that buffer of time where you say, okay, this is what happened. I lost my job, my girlfriend left me. This is how I feel about it. And it's going to allow you to kind of sit with those emotions and understand that it's not the end of the world, not that big of a deal. You're going to be able to handle this. You just need to make good decisions, because you know if you make bad decisions, you're going to be fucking right back at square one. The mental well-being practice is really important. I use Headspace, which is a free app that you can download for your smartphone, or you can get it online or through a computer. But there's tons of free resources out there if you're looking at guided meditation, guided hypnosis, and you can even be very specific. Like through Headspace, you can have meditations for success, meditations to sleep, meditations to, deal with anxiety, whatever it is. You can find very specific guided processes to help you with this. And it's extremely important. It's something that can take literally, they have them that are 2 minutes long. You will have the time, you will be able to do them, and it will be absolutely beneficial, not just for this 2-month period of when you're trying to taper off, but for the rest of your life. It'll be a tool that you can utilize in every single day of the rest of your life. I know I do still to this day. So now we have support system, our physical activity that's going to help us maximize all the production of dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, oxytocin. Got that in place. We have our mental well-being practice in place. Headspace, guided hypnosis, YouTube, breath work, breathing techniques, anything. Just every day you got to do it. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you can do will help you. The more the better. Now let's talk about the actual tapering off process, how I would approach that. You're at 8 milligrams. 2 months is not a lot of time. Let's just have that, I would not recommend this. Let's just say that. But again, the beginning of the video, I'm just assuming that whatever, like that's what it is. It's 2 months. That's what he asked me. That's what I'm trying to provide. I would not recommend it if you don't have to be off in 2 months. I always say to take a long, slow process with the tapering method, but life throws us fucking curveballs sometimes. So how would I do this? Right off the bat, if I've been taking 8 milligrams and I need to start tapering down, I'm going right to 6 right away. I'm taking 2 milligrams off the top. I would break up those 6 milligrams into 3 2 milligram doses, and I would have that happen at mid-morning, right after lunch, and then right after dinner for me. So that's gonna allow me to get up, kind of get my shit together, and I know I got a dose coming. Midday, I'm hitting another dose. End of the day before I go to bed. Like, that's placebo, whatever. It's gonna make me feel like, okay, I have this well balanced. I'm sleeping for whatever, 8 hours out of the day. So I'm gonna try to split the rest of my day up evenly with those 2 milligram doses. From there, I'm gonna come down 1 milligram in 1 milligram increments from that point on. So let's say week 1, I try to get down to 6. Day 1, like today, I'm taking 6 milligrams, and I have 8 weeks to go from there. So week 1, I'm at 6 milligrams. Next week, I'm gonna cut the middle dose, so the one that I would take about mid-afternoon, not the morning or night, but the middle dose, I'm gonna cut that down to 1 milligram. So now I'm at 5 milligrams a day. See how you feel through that week. After that, I'm probably gonna cut down my morning dose to 1 milligram. So now I'm to 4 milligrams. Morning, 1 in morning, 1 after lunch, 2 before bed. I would probably sit and hold with that for a week to see how I felt. From there, I'm gonna do 3 1 milligram doses a day, 1 morning, noon, and night, same time frame. I think consistency with the time is very helpful. After that, again, you're really trying to feel it out, but I'm gonna go morning, skip the noon or the lunch time, whatever, and then night, 1 milligram at each. And I would try to hold it 2 milligrams for maybe the next 2 weeks or so. And then I'm gonna go down to 1 milligram a day, split up in 2 doses. So 0.5, 0.5, again, morning and night. And then just kind of go from there. Ideally, your last week of this, I'm just kind of doing the dust, the Suboxone dust in the pill container, whatever it is before. I mean, and that's a negligible amount of Suboxone. Like you're next to nothing, but it's still, whether it's placebo or not, you're still gonna feel better. And I know you'll feel better because I felt better when I would kind of swipe that orange dust and just like hit underneath my tongue with it. That's really rushing it. But assuming that you are checking in with your support group, you are going to your CrossFit or Orange Theory or yoga classes or whatever, painting classes, something that is difficult, you have to work hard at, and you're going to see improvement. Those are all the characteristics of the difficult thing that you need to start in a group setting. Assuming that you're showing up there at least 3 or 4 days a week, you're starting to build relationships with people that are also involved with that. You're kind of completely away from your social circle, and that every day you're doing a mental well-being practice. That is how I would approach this 2-month taper process. Not recommended. I think it's possible. It's just an accelerated course, quote unquote, to getting to where you want to be. All the parts of the puzzle have to be actively being worked on at all times. You can't sleep on the exercise. You can't sleep on the mental well-being practice. You can't sleep on having your accountability through your support group or support person. You have to do all of them. No substitutions. You can't leave anything out. No exceptions. You have to have all those things in place if you expect to be successful in such a short tapering process. I do think it's possible. You just need to run through this crash course, and you need to be really smart, and you need to be really motivated and dedicated, and you just have to be disciplined, and you got to keep all those things in line. This will be the best thing that you've ever done for yourself in your entire life. It is possible. You can absolutely do it. You just got to buckle down and knock it out. So Pete, thank you for the question. Best of luck to you. Please keep me posted on how you're doing. Email, comment, whatever. I will respond, as I always do, as quickly as I possibly can. We are all rooting for you, all right? Every single one of you guys out there that are going through this, or you're trying to figure this out, we're rooting for you. Everybody is. We need you to get better so we can grow this community a little bit and start helping others out there. Keep the comments coming, keep the questions coming. We will keep the content coming. Thank you for everything, guys, and I look forward to talking to you soon. See ya.